I'm so thankful that everyone is here tonight, and I'm going to get started with this amazing presentation for this river cruise. Andy and I are hosting a river cruise next June in France. It's the Treasures of Burgundy and Provence on the Rhone and Saône. And just a little bit of our agenda tonight before we get started. We're going to do an introduction. I'm going to go through the complete itinerary. I'm going to talk about why I love river cruising. We're going to talk about tours and excursions, the ship, the ship that we're going to be on is the Amadeus Provence. We're going to talk about pre and post cruise packages, all about flights, how to reserve your cabin, and then I'll be available to answer any questions. So before we get into the full presentation, I would just like to tell you a little bit about myself and Sphera Travel. Sphera Travel was started in 2020 by my husband and I, my business partner, Andy. And Andy, you probably won't see in front of the camera as much as me, but he does all the behind the scenes stuff for us. So he does, when you get a travel app from us with all your trip details and everything, he's taking care of all of that for you. And he will hopefully also be on this trip with us that we are hosting. So you'll see him around there as well. I've been in the travel industry over 30 years. I absolutely love the industry. And my passion and our passion at Sphera Travel is to help people celebrate life events, bringing friends and family together, honoring your interests through comfortable luxury travel, and discovering the world together. We started Sphera Travel right in the middle, at the beginning actually, of COVID. And since then, over the last 4 years, we just had our 4-year anniversary, the beginning of April. We're becoming a trusted luxury travel design company for clients in West Michigan and all over the USA. And our tagline or what we do is we design luxury small group vacations that nurture connections and interests for empty nesters and retirees. And we're dedicated to helping you enjoy discovering the world together through vacations that make your travel experiences seamless, comfortable, and memorable. Before we get into the itinerary, I'm going to show a quick video just to give you a bit of a taste of what we'll be doing. And this video is our actual ship that we'll be on in the destination that we'll be in. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, I don't know if there was any sound to that. There was supposed to be, but gotta love technology, right? But the video is just absolutely beautiful, and I'm really excited that it really portrayed the time of year that we will be in Provence with the lavender blooming. I think we might be a little bit early, but I think that we'll be able to see some. Usually the season is from middle of June to the end of July, so it just looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to talk a little bit first about why I love river cruising so much. Um, if you've never been on one, it's just amazing that the river cruises take you directly through a country, all around the small villages, right through the main areas of each country. And while an ocean cruise takes you around the country. So it's just really neat to be immersed into a specific country. Also, you unpack once. I absolutely love this. I don't know if any of you have ever done a motor coach tour. Those you move every couple days and you have to unpack and have your suitcases down for them to load on the motor coach for you. This is unpack once for the week and you just get to enjoy the cruise. And I also love the intimacy of the river cruise. Our ship, I'll get into it in a minute, but only will have 140 passengers on board. So you'll really get an opportunity to meet others, talk about your day when you get back after touring. These pictures I have on the screen are from some past river cruises that we've been on. The top picture is Andy and I and one of the staff that we became good friends with. He took great care of us and brought us wonderful drinks and became our friend. And then my mom and I, we got served 2 glasses of champagne on our most recent cruise a couple weeks ago in Amsterdam. And then my sister-in-law and some wonderful clients that were with us at the Christmas markets last December. So river cruising is just, it's phenomenal to be in such an intimate space and environment with friends and then maybe new friends as well. And one other thing that I love about river cruising is the coffee machine. If you know me, you know, like I love coffee, and they have these machines. I told Andy I need one at home, but they're $5,000. So I don't think I'll be getting one, but it's very nice just to be able to get a coffee, a cappuccino, a latte, hot chocolate, whenever you want during the day. So the benefits of a hosted cruise. So Andy and I will be on this cruise with you. And the fact that it's hosted doesn't mean that you have to do everything with us. You can if you want, but we are just there for support. We're peace of mind, in-person assistance. It's not very often that you get to have your travel advisor there with you. So we're there for the peace of mind. We'll have some special surprises throughout the cruise. We'll be able to have with a group, we'll be able to have some clear communication ahead of time. So we may, depending on how the group is with technology, we may set up a Facebook group or just use a web page to communicate and build excitement. And normally we charge design fees for our vacations that we plan for you, especially the custom ones. But because I've already planned this trip and it's hosted, there are no design fees on this trip. So that's a $300 savings for you. And then you also will be able to make friends and travel with others with common interests. And I really encourage you to think about this. We have 12 cabins that we're holding on the cruise. And I encourage you to maybe think of another couple that you have a common interest with, maybe some friends that you enjoy wine with, or you play pickleball with, or friends that you just enjoy to be with and would like to travel with, and invite another couple along. And then, you can do things together, or you can do things with all of us as a group as well, whatever you prefer. All right, so the itinerary. The entire trip will be in France. We go June 4 through June 11 of 2025. And we start in Lyon, France. Lyon is about 2 hours south of Paris. So if you thought maybe you would want to do a few days in Paris before the cruise, you certainly could do that. It's an easy 2-hour train ride down to Lyon. So it's a really, really great location in southern France. So then we'll go Lyon to Mâcon, and then Chalais-sur-Saône and Tournus. And then, so we're going north for that up to Macon. And then we're coming back south, and we'll have another stop in Lyon for about a half a day. And then we go south to Avignon, and that's a pretty long sail down from Lyon to Avignon. So that should be a beautiful day of sailing. And then Arles, wonderful town, and then Châteauneuf-du-Rhône, and then we disembark. We go back up to Lyon and disembark there. All right, so I'm just going to go over a few of the highlights of the towns. I've been to a lot of these. I've been on 3 itineraries of Burgundy and Provence with different cruise lines. And I'm actually hitting some spots that I haven't on other ones. So they're all a little bit different, which is really nice. So in Lyon, you would embark on the cruise after breakfast. So if you fly in a day before or a couple days before, meet the ship late morning, and you can drop off your luggage and then get to know the city. You can drop your luggage off and go explore. The Paul Bocuse market is there, and it's fantastic. And then that evening we'll have a welcome cocktail hour and dinner. And then the next day is Macon, and this is a very, very old area. It has history dating back 2,000 years. And this is exciting to me, the vineyards of Beaujolais. I was there in November and got to enjoy some of the Beaujolais wines. I just did a tasting with the wine club that we're part of. So it would be really neat on this day, if we have some wine lovers, maybe to have everybody bring a bottle back from their day of exploring, and we could do a wine tasting together. So just fun things that we can do as a group. There's a wine museum, an abbey, and a chateau that you can see that are all options from that area. And then Chalon-sur-Saône, beautiful half-timbered houses. And this picture on the screen is the Beaune Hospital. So going to the town of Beaune is an option on that day, and they have wine tasting at the Hotel Dieu, which I would love to do. I've been to Beaune before, and it's actually a fun story there. A couple trips ago, when I did this itinerary, the entire trip was looking for a copper pot. I wanted to get one my whole trip, every market I went to, and we got off the motor coach in Beaune, and there was a market. It was market day, and I found my copper pot. So pretty exciting for that trip. So that is a wonderful location. And then we're going back south to Lyon. And there you'll have some time to do some tours. Lyon is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Basilica of Notre Dame, Old Lyon, which is really, really neat. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but that area was part of the silk trade. So very neat town to see. And then you could also go to the food market that day of Paul Bocuse if you didn't hit it the first day. Avignon is also a wonderful city. There's the Palace of Popes. And then you can take a trip outside of the town to Pont du Gard, which is a Roman aqueduct. And I have not seen that yet. So that probably will be on my list of things to do. And then Arles has an amazing Roman amphitheater, similar to the Colosseum in Rome, not as big and not as busy. So that it's a neat one to get into. Vincent van Gogh lived there. And then this picture of these, the bulls and the wild white horses. I've never seen these, and apparently there's flamingos there as well. So that would be a neat excursion to do that afternoon. And then we go down to Châteauneuf-du-Rhône, and this is an area that I've never seen either. The Gorge, the Grand Canyon of Europe, and the area is also known for black truffles. And then that night we have a captain's gala dinner on the ship. And then we end in Lyon, and you disembark after breakfast, and you can choose to fly home that day. You can choose to extend and do something else. I think we're getting on another cruise, so if anybody wants to join us for that, you're welcome to. So Amadeus river cruise line does things a little bit different than other cruise lines, and I actually really like this. They don't include the excursions because like myself, I've done this itinerary 3 times. Some of you have maybe already been to these places, and maybe you just want to use the ship for transportation to get between the villages and just to enjoy it like a hotel. So you can do whatever you want in the ports. You can get off, maybe book a private tour, maybe set up a day for wineries, whatever you want to do. But there are 3 different packages. Obviously, package C is the most inclusive. It pretty much includes all of the tours. And then on board, you can purchase individual excursions, which is a nice way to go. At the end of the presentation, I'll have a QR code, which will take you to a web page, and all of the excursions are spelled out. There's a lot more detail on that web page. All right, so the ship, just a little bit about it. I had mentioned that it only holds 140 passengers, which is really, really nice. The last ship I was on was about 160. So 20 less people, I think, will make a nice difference. The ship is flagged out of Germany. It was built in 2017. 62 cabins and suites, and approximately 40 crew members. So we'll be taken well care of by the wonderful crew. Here's an image of the deck plan, and on that web page, you'll be able to see a little bit better, take a look at that a little closer. We have, like I mentioned, 12 cabins. We have cabins in category C4, and I'll show you some images of that in a moment. And then B1 and A1. And basically the difference between A1 and B1 is just that they're on different decks, and there is a price difference. We have more B1 cabins than the A1s. It was just what the availability looked like. But something that I love about these cabins on Amadeus, this category, is they have a walk-in closet, which is unheard of for any kind of cruise to have a walk-in closet. You'll see in the image, we have the beautiful windows that there's just a button, and the buttons are the windows drop down. It's a panoramic window. Air-conditioned rooms. You can have the beds configured how you want, if you want them together or separated. In-room safe, everything you need for a wonderful stay. And then the lower price cabins, the cabin C4s, they, if you just see that they have like the water level window, and what those are sometimes called are like the duck view. If you look out the window, you're at the same level as a duck swimming on the river. So those are on the lowest deck of the cruise ship, but there's only 4 decks, so it's not that big of a ship. All right, so this picture here of this beautiful, beautiful swimming pool, I cannot wait to enjoy this. The last 3 river cruises that I've done have been in cold weather, and I haven't been able to enjoy the top deck. And I can totally see myself sitting there with a nice glass of rosé, because we're in Provence, of course, enjoying this beautiful pool. And I would love for you to enjoy that pool with me. And there's some more people in the pool. The next few slides are just some images of the ship. And the ship also includes bicycles. So they don't really offer any tours with them. But if you're a biker at home, I would recommend taking a bike out and enjoying your time. If you're not a biker at home, usually the cruise directors don't recommend taking up biking on a cruise. There's been prone to injuries if you're not a biker at home anyway. So here's an image of the lounge and the beautiful dining room. All right. So flights for the cruise. We can assist you with your flights, or you can do them independently, whatever you choose. You'll be able to reserve them 330 days before your return date. And so with that, there's a lot of options of things that we can do. We can either package them with a hotel if you wanted to do like a pre or post night stay, post cruise stay. You could use a credit if you have some canceled flights. You could use mileage credits if you have them. You could reserve them directly with your preferred airline. If you decide to use our services for airlines, we're waiving the fee on the cruise, but we would have a $100 ticketing and research fee per person on the airline tickets. Sphera Travel, we monitor your flights while you're traveling, so it's a lot of work to take care of everybody's flights, especially if we have 24 people all flying in, and I'm watching all of your flights. So that's why we have the fees on those. And then as far as pre and post cruise package, I recommend that you come into France at least 1 day before the cruise. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days is even better. Like I mentioned, you could fly into Paris, which will probably keep your flight costs down a bit, and then take an easy 2-hour train. There's wonderful places to stop. Andy and I stayed in Dijon, France, which isn't too far away from Lyon at all. And that was a wonderful little town, and I wouldn't mind getting back there. I will be putting together a pre-cruise package. And I would like to see the lavender fields and maybe do some wine tastings before this trip. So I'll probably put that together around the time that we can book flights. So it will be later this summer before I'm able to do that. But when we start getting around to doing flights for everybody, I will put that out in an email. All right, so then pricing. Pricing will probably end up being different for everyone. The cabin prices are the same depending on the categories. But once we do your flights, and if you need insurance, those kind of things, your packages will end up costing different for everybody. And same thing with adding the excursions on, if you decide to do an excursion package or just do it a la carte on board. As far as payments go, when we hold your cabin, they do require a 10% deposit due at the time of booking, and then your final payment is due around 140 days before departure. This QR code that's on the screen, it will be on the next couple slides. This will take you to that web page that I mentioned that has all kinds of details on it. All right, so as far as pricing on the cruise, the A1 categories, those are on the topmost deck. Those are pricing at $5,288 per person. And then the B1s, which are a deck down, both the A1 and the B1 have the panoramic windows that roll down. That cabin is $44.64 per person. And then the C4, the duck view cabins, those are $31.41 per person. And if we do have any solo travelers, Amadeus is fantastic with their solo occupancy rates. I believe on the C4s, it's only a 15% increase if you're going to travel solo, and then it goes up based on the other categories. I think A1 and B1 might be 50% more, but it's not bad. Some cruise lines charge you double the price. So like I mentioned, space is limited on this. We have 12 cabins holding, and we can try to get more if we need them, but we're guaranteed the 12. All right, so booking bonuses. We're waiving the $300 design fee on the trip. If you reserve your cruise before July 15, there is $150 off per person for cabins deposited before then. And then anybody that deposits their cruise by April 30, so 1 week from tonight, we are going to put together a complimentary private for our group custom excursion, which will be valued at $200 per person. I'll hold off a bit on arranging that because I'd like to see what people's interests are. So anybody that books before the 30th of April will be able to join us on that private excursion. So as far as booking, I really love to consult with you, find out what your preferences are, what your needs are for the trip, that kind of thing. So again, this QR code will take you to the web page. You can schedule a call with me, and things we'll discuss during the call are like your cabin preferences, pricing based on your preferences, your flights, what insurance would be best for you, if you want to do pre-night packages, dietary needs, everything we need to know to customize the cruise. for you personally. So you can just schedule a call with me there and we'll take care of that. So I have Andy in the other room, and he is going to post questions. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will try to get those answered. Any questions? Just go ahead and put them in the chat if you have questions. All right. Looks like we have no questions, so that's good. I thank you all for joining me tonight, and I would love to see you in France next June. Please feel free to reach out. You can call me. My number is 616-729-1887, or just set an appointment through the webpage. If you are not getting my emails, please go ahead and just send me a direct message through Facebook with your email address, and I'll be sending out an email with the slides, with the webpage, and with this video probably tomorrow sometime. So you can have all that. And then one other favor for all of you, please think about who you might like to have join you on this. And when we send the email out tomorrow, feel free to forward it to them. They're welcome to get in touch with me, and I can go through things with them, or even forward the video from Facebook. So I thank you all for joining me tonight, and hopefully we will see you in Provence next June. Have a good night.